welcome. This is a quick demo and showcase of the AI evaluations feature on the Glific platform. AI evaluation is a way to run structured tests that measure how well an AI model performs. In Glific, this is the test that we are going to run on the AI assistants that are getting created and to determine how well they perform on specific questions, tasks that they are asked to do through the prompt or a safety criteria and we get a result. And the idea of this evaluation and the way to think about it is it's like getting a report card for the AI, and there's a score for each question that we have, and for each answer that is getting generated. And based on that score, we are able to determine what changes need to be made in order to improve. The way to think about it is it helps you to catch harmful or inaccurate responses before users can ask those questions, and make sure that a prompt is there's enough prompting done so that the harmful and inaccurate responses are not sent to the users, and reduce bias and ensure culturally sensitive communication is happening. Again, this can be done when we ask questions that might have biased answers, and we can catch those biased answers and improve the knowledge base or improve the prompt so that those answers which could be culturally insensitive or may not fit the context of your audience or maybe bias can be avoided. And also, as you make new changes to your AI assistants, introduce new assistants or modify the assistant, you can just run the eval, see the scores, and it'll reduce the effort of doing manual review and will make it easier to do it at scale. This is a quick process about an overview of the process that we must follow. So as you create or update new assistants on the Glific platform, the idea is that you should be able to run the evaluation, get the score, analyze the results, and based on those analysis of result, you can decide whether there are some changes that need to be made, whether it's safe enough, whether the answers are good enough, and if yes, if there are changes needed, you find that the answers are not good enough, then you can make those changes, update the prompt, update the knowledge base, do what you have to do, and then run the evaluation again till the time where you feel like the AI is answering up to your mark based on the scores as well as your analysis of the answers. And when there are no changes needed, like when it's answering up to your mark, then you can make that new version live in your flows or start using the new version or new assistant in your flows. So that's the overview. Now I'll quickly jump over to the Glific platform and show you where you can find this and how you can use this. So if you go, there will be this new AI toolkit tab, and within that there will be an AI evals page. Initially, you'll have to request for the AI eval feature to be enabled. Once the request is raised and we have enabled the feature, you should be able to land on a page like this. Um, so for this demo, I'm going to use this. I'm going to run the evaluation on this AI assistant. It's called CS Tutor. There are so many versions. There's version 1 which is presently live. I've created version 2, and there are like some failures that happened in creation, and then there's version 5 and version 6. So if I want to determine how well, if I should switch from version 1 to version 5 or version 6, this is an idea. So like version 1, you can see there's no prompt, there's just here a CS Tutor, whereas in version 5 there is like a slightly bigger prompt. It gives that you must answer to 16 to 25 year olds. Again, and I can see like there are some changes, like the prompt is not well defined, and here the prompt is well defined. So 16 to 25 years old, answer in simple language, break down complex ideas into small digestible ideas, use analogies, don't answer more than 10 cents. So there are all these instructions that the assistant must stick to. So we have this version 6 is not live, but I'm going to test on version 6 and see how well the responses are coming, and that's going to be the demo. So I'll go to AI evals. The first step of creating, as you can see, like there's a create AI evaluation button, and from here you can get to the create evaluation form. The first step is to upload or select a golden set of question and answers. So golden set of question and answers are, think of it as like a set which is which are the frequently asked questions from your beneficiaries. The questions which might be, so it could be a list of frequently asked questions plus some mix of questions which might be out of bounds of for what the AI should answer, and a mix of all these questions and the answer that you would want your AI to give. So this answer has to be manually, like this answer is something, ideally it's written by a human so that it matches, so that we can compare how well the AI is answering as compared to what a human would answer. So question is frequently asked, like the question that a user might ask, versus answer is like the most ideal answer that the human would give in this situation. Here's a template for you, so that you are able to get it exactly in the right format. So in order to upload this golden set of question and answers, we have to use this template. The template consists of a question column and an answer column, and you must populate the question and answer in this column. As you can see, I have the template and set up already. So there's question and the corresponding answer. Once I have the template set up, I should download this template as CSV, and once I do this, it gets downloaded to my laptop. Now when I want to use the particular golden set of question and answers, I can select it and I can upload that golden question and answer. It gives me to give it a name. I will just call it CS Tutor Golden Q&A, and then there's something called as duplication factor. Duplication factor, to understand this, we know that when same question is asked to AI, the AI may not respond in the same way when the same question is asked 2 or 3 or 4 times. So this, by setting a duplication factor of 2 or 3, the questions in this set, in this golden Q&A sheet that you have, it is repeated that many times, and it is asked, and you can see when the same question is asked once, twice or 3 times, what are the answer or what are the variation in the same answer that exist. So that's generated by the LLM or the AI assistant that you have set up. It's recommended to start with a duplication factor of 1, so that it's first less complex, and as you get more comfortable with running evaluations, then you can test with higher duplication factors. So the next step is to upload the golden Q&A, and once this gets uploaded, as you can see, now I can use it for future evaluation runs, and I don't have to upload it again. This becomes available in the golden Q&A tab, and if you wish, you can download these, and so that if you want to modify these, or if you want to know what were the questions that you had uploaded previously, those can become available. So I'll go again over here. I will select the ones that I have already uploaded, and now I should select the AI assistant. So the name of the assistant was CS Tutor, and I wanted to run on the latest version that I had created, because I wanted to understand how the latest version with the latest updates is answering, and whether it is meeting my expectations after I have made the changes to the prompt. So as I explained here, it's important to select the specific version on which you want to run, and then I will give it a name. CS Tutor eval run 1. Again, this is for you to help you to identify, and not more than that. And then I'll click on run evaluation, and this completes the workflow for running the evaluation. Now running the evaluation takes a bit of time, so it isn't like you'll get the results immediately. It takes up to 45 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes slightly more, depending on how many questions are there and what is the duplication factor. I will share about the what happens when the eval run is completed, and how to analyze the results in the next section of the video. 2 of the video um, on explaining what the eval results look like and how to analyze them, and based on the analysis what are the changes and what other updates you can make in your assistant. So once the evaluation run is completed out of the box, initially what you will get is something called as a cosine similarity score. This measures how close your assistant's answer are to the expected answer in its meaning. And here usually we want to get high scores, which kind of convey that the answers are meaning similar things. A lower score would mean that the AI assistant's answer are not close in meaning to what the golden answers are. Again, there are nuances to this, but that would be the general rule of thumb. And to get started, you can look at the scores which are lower and find out what questions are those and why the AI is answering low, like why is the score low, and try to see if you can improve something in your prompt. So let's go to the AI evals page. Here you can see I had run initially on the version 6, but while I was completing, I also ran on version 1 of the same assistant, so we can see the difference in the scores. Just to give you an overview, version 1 has almost no prompt. It is just like it's just giving that it's a CS tutor. Again, this use case and this assistant is fairly basic. CS computer science, or like this information is the most commonly available information. So again, this is just for explanation purposes, but you can see in version 6 it is slightly like a more detailed prompt. It also has difference in models. So here version 1 is GPT-4o, whereas in version 6 there is GPT-4o, version is 4o mini. There's also difference in temperature and so on. So there are a few changes, and we'll see how the scores have come up for these 2 different versions of the same assistant, which has the same task and same knowledge base. So in order to view the results, once the result is completed, what you can see over here is an aggregate score of cosine similarity. But what we want to see and what we want to go by is looking deeply into each answer and looking at the score for each question and answer pair, and that is what will help us to determine what changes we need to make when we look at this scores which are lower. So first step is to download the CSV, the result CSV. Once the result CSV get downloaded in your laptop, what you can do is you can import it into a Google Sheet, or you can import it into a Microsoft Sheet, Excel sheet, whichever is your team's, your organization's office suite. You can use those tools because it becomes easier to share, it becomes easier to create charts, and it becomes easier to then collaborate with your team members and getting everyone's consensus on the thing. So as you can see, this is a result CSV. This contains the question ID. Question ID is nothing but the row number of the question in the original golden question and answer sheet. Again, gets jumbled, but it has all the 10 answers, and this is the 5th question in that sheet, but because there are like multiple operations happening, so it's just jumbled. But it can be sorted by simply doing data, sort sheet, sort range, and you can do advanced sorting. Make sure that you don't sort the data header row. We want to sort by this one, and now it has like all the things in order. This is the golden question. This is the golden answer which we had in the golden question and answer sheet. This is the the assistant generated answer, and then this is the comparison between these 2 answers and a score of cosine similarity. And you can see there are like scores given for each this thing. So these are the operations that have happened. Assistant has generated the answer for this question, and then we have run a second operation of comparing and populating the result over here, and now you have this thing available. As you can see, what we can do quickly just to identify if there are any question IDs which are scored lower, we can insert a quick tool. Imagine if you have like more than 20 or 30 questions. So we should be able to identify, let's say if I just remove this question ID, what we can see is there are all the questions as scored above 0.75, which is a good sign. Let's see what happened. Again, this is a generic use case, but ideally there you might identify there are some questions which are scored lower, and then you can compare the results. Let's see what happens. What happened in when I ran the same thing in version 1. So I'll do the same thing. I will import this. I'll import the um, I'll import the latest. I'll import my result CSV into a Google Sheet. Okay, and open it in Google Sheets. And yeah, as you can see, it has the same fields, the same thing, but as you can see, like there is like a difference in the way it has answered. I'll just move this for now. Here it has given in let's say like 3 to 5 sentences for the same yeah, and whereas in this one similar but different, because now it is not following the prompt, it is just following that you are a CS student. Okay, let's look at the chart of the scores, and let's insert a chart, a quick chart, and you can see, okay, there are some questions which are like scored below 0.75. Again, 0.75 is not like a hard scale, just showing this because it's easier to understand over here, and this is a fairly simple use case. But as you can see, by providing a more specific prompt and guidelines, the scores can be improved. Obviously, there are more nuances to this which can be shared in more next videos. But we hope that this helps to get started, do the initial and testing, so that you are able to identify such questions which are like scoring very low, and at least make changes to improve those answers for the questions which are getting scored very low. And it could be because and it can be done by changing the prompt, figuring out, is the question, do you have the knowledge base, is there any files that contain the information, or if it's out of context. So yeah, like again, this is how it can be used. There are a bit more nuances which you can read about in our documentation on how to interpret the scores, and if all the low scores don't really mean bad thing and all the high scores don't really mean good thing. But it's a great way to get started and identifying those questions which are scored low, and then you can use your discretion on figuring out if any change need to be made or no. Okay, we hope you find this useful. Please do request and we'll enable the feature, and there are more advanced possibilities which you can discuss with the Glific team.